Oh, hello, it's Susie from Esoteric Trading Solutions. A couple of my clients asked me to analyse electronium, which is coming up on the exchange, I think on the 1st of November. Normally I wouldn't share my analysis with non-fee paying clients or people who don't pay me a subscription, but this I just could not help myself, honestly. This is the biggest load of crap I've ever seen in my whole life. And I've seen a lot in markets, and I've read a lot of prospectuses, and I've read a lot of debt mandates, and I've read a lot of prospectuses for equity and for bond markets and things like that. But I've never seen anything like this. It's the biggest load of crap I've ever seen, and it's scam all over it. From what I can see from the documentation they provided, if you call it a proper white paper, which it's not, or from the technical white paper, which it's not, from what I can ascertain, it looks like if you're the investor and you buy this token, and they do call it a token, coin, or an exchange currency, or a currency, which they're all these three things are completely three different things. If you buy this token, which is offered at a cent, you, the investor, might get the opportunity to mine the coin or the token, as they put it, or the currency, mine the coin or the token, and you might get free tokens. And then as long as you swap Bitcoin and Ethereum, which is really what they want, because the value of this coin is valueless as far as I'm concerned, then if you want to wait, we might develop a mobile gaming application with these tokens, and then we might take on the rest of the world and the 2.2 billion mobile users. It is just absolute crap. I've never seen anything like it in my whole life. There is a lot of problems with this, and I could go on forever, seriously. The first thing I'll say, and they seem to say, yes, we're a UK company. It's really easy to set up a company in the UK. It only costs you £20, and that's it. And they use that to give them some sort of credibility. There seems to be a lot of hype around this coin or token. Let's call it a token. And they're pretty much saying, oh, you're going to buy it, you're going to make money, whatever. But the reality is, there's no prototype for the business. They've got no business plan or model. There's no SWOT analysis, which is basically strengths, weaknesses, opportunities analysis. No projection of revenues, no costs, how the money is going to be spent. How, they're using other people's technology. How is it going to be put in place? How are they going to do this? And there's all promises and pretty much no delivery at this stage. There is no business model or business plan or operation to how they're going to do things. It's just absolute crap. It pretty much, from what I can see, is a risk of a pump and a dump, pretty much. You wouldn't hold this coin, for the medium term or the long term. I think it just won't be here in 5 years' time or even 2 years' time. The reality is, they're saying, yes, you can download this application. We give you the wallet. You can exchange Bitcoin and Ethereum, and we'll give you these coins or tokens. Dangerous. Basically, they control the wallet. You can exchange Bitcoin and Ethereum, and we'll give you the wallet, and you can do some mining for us. This is just red flags all over for me as far as I'm concerned. Going back to the white paper, it gives very little detail to how they're going to build their client base or their revenues. The reality is they've got no business whatsoever, and they're potentially using someone else's technology, whether it be Monero's or whatever the other one was, Bitcoin. And, they're saying that you can mine mobile phones, which you can't actually. I mean, you can if you've got 14 million of them. It's just crap. So effectively, you've got a mobile gaming crypto app potentially, where they're saying you can mine. That's where that's where you as the user get some return for a future game app. Buyer beware. It's just all absolute crap, and essentially it's a scam. There's no doubt about it. I mean, even the way the white paper is written, even the name electronium, it's all cliche. It's all like orientated towards the investor or the trader or the speculator. Fear of missing out. We're going to suck you in as fast as we can. You're going to miss something great. I saw something on the DVD. One guy said he's bought 400,000. You've got to buy this thing. But the reality is, these guys wouldn't get money from anywhere else. If these guys went to a bank, if they went to the equity market for an IPO, or if they went to the debt market, or if they asked for money from the bank, the bank wouldn't give it to them. The banks would not give them the money because they have got nothing to show how they are going to build this business and how they're going to develop this business to make a profit, to make a return, and to pay the bank back. So, there's no, banks won't lend out money if you've got annuity income to pay back the principal and interest. In other words, if you've got revenue coming in every week, every month to pay back the principal and the interest. Also, the equity market wouldn't list you unless you can show that you've got an operational business with, business flows, revenues coming in, expenses, people working, people, out there on the sales pavement, getting the clients in, all that sort of thing. I mean, this is just absolute garbology. I'm just absolutely incredulous that they can come to an ICO market, and that's why they're coming, because they think they can get away with it. They think that they can just, come out with this crap. I mean, if you look at crypto, there was a crypto coin ages ago, 2014. There's casino coin. They're all the same crap. It's all the same stuff. Seriously, it's just an absolute scam. There's no working prototype, as I said, no operational information, no details on how to win over mass market. They talk about a $2.2 billion mobile market, but how are they going to get people to use this app? I mean, advertising's not enough. You know what I'm saying? You can advertise all you want. Facebook's not enough. I mean, Facebook, you can, those figures, you can erroneously inflate those Facebook figures, right? You can, go on all the talk fest, you can go on all the advertising. I don't believe a thing that, this other guy, Richard Ellis, or his name Els was, Els or whatever. I mean, the guy's a digital person, I don't believe anything about what these guys have said. The two advisors, one's an equity broker and the other one's some sort of gamer, and they don't even look at the camera, directly on. You don't even get a proper look at their face. If they get this money and they run, which they probably will, you as the investor or the speculator won't have a leg to stand on, because honestly, they'll just say, the business didn't work, but they've done nothing for the business. You get the money and they've actually done nothing. I come to the market with an ICO and, use someone else's technology and give you absolutely nothing. It's just unbelievable. No, there's no intellectual property. There's no safeguard against misuse of money, corruption. They talk about no storage and mining solutions. It's not addressed properly. There's no scope. It's all pie in the sky stuff. Seriously, it's just, I can't even go on enough. Revenue, there's no revenue and expense statements, no budgets to how they're going to get to one stage to another. There's no comprehensible viable business plan. In other words, how they're going to operate the business, how do they identify a source of revenue, the intended customer base, products, details of financing, how are they going to spend the money, what sort of clients are they going to target. They talk about geographic, they talk about clients, but, you've got no information of the targeted client base. Are we talking geographic? Are they going to go to Australia? Are they going to go to America? Are they going to go to India? Are they going to go to Germany, to target client base? And what demographic, old people, young people, babies, whatever. Do they have people knocking on doors trying to convert people? What strategies, what infrastructure, organisational structure? It's just, you can go on and on and on, just honestly, even when we talk about a feasibility study, we're talking about, the economy, if the economy is bad, will people want to, use their app, technical, legal, scheduling factors, project management, what are the key performance indicators? When do they finish one project to the other so they can build this business? Because the reality is, there's no schedule for anything they're doing. There's no time, to when things have to be done. There's no emphasis on potential problems. They don't outline the risks. Now, in any prospectus for bonds or debt, or when you go to the bank, you've always got to do your SWOT analysis, which is SWOT analysis, which is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats within your business model. You get none of that in this white paper, absolutely nothing. No timelines or goals, nothing. Again, no deadlines for implementation. Again, I've covered the SWOT analysis, no revenue streams, no key performance indicators key performance indicators on a timeline. The money, there's basically saying, give me the money, but trust me, I'm a doctor. Give me the money, but, I'm going to use someone else's, technology, and I'm going to try and apply it to a phone, which is crap. And, you know, trust me, you're going to get coins that are going to be worthless. They're 1 cent, but I'm sure, you know, with enough hype that, you know, people are going to come in and, you know, you're going to make, you know, you're going to double your money, right? And then what happens next, basically? And I think all that hype is pretty much that. They're basically saying to the investor, the speculator, buy the coins. As soon as the ICO comes on the exchange, let's just sell it down. They have no intentions of, you know, supporting their ICO. They just want to get the money so that you guys lose. You know, if you don't get out on the pump and dump, you're going to be absolutely gone. Seriously. Again, what, you know, where's the safety for you? You know, where's the morality? You know, are we talking about investor abuse? There's no utility in this token, coin, or exchange. It's not an exchange and it's not a coin. There's no compliance address. In other words, you know, where does the money go? Does it get held in custody? Does it get held in a trust? You know, or does the money go directly to Richard Ellis and his friends so that they can just piss off somewhere to a nice holiday somewhere? You know, a product's not even launched here. There's no product. There's no nothing. Again, this company is not mature. These people have only been together for 3 years. There's no evidence that, you know, that they're a working proper team. The company is new, so there's no history of raised funds. There's no credit rating, no nothing. The experience, I would say, also is not even relevant. If you look at their experience, yeah, it sounds great. They might have a bit of computer gaming, this sort of thing, but the reality is they have no Bitcoin, they have no technology in terms of front and back office for the blockchain technology. And, you know, that's just, you know, unheard of. I mean, really, you're trying to create an app using blockchain, you know, a gaming app, and you've got no one that has, you know, proper blockchain experience. Which I find amazing. There's just so many holes in this thing. Fair income. I'm just not a believer, full stop. The white paper's crap. You know, again, going through, buy with where, because seriously, it's a shit coin. There's no doubt about it. Technology, again, you know, it's really hard to get, you know, blockchain technology ready for a gaming app on a phone. You know, it takes years of development to do it. And particularly in that sector, and they reckon that they can, you know, they can do it pretty quick, but, you know, we'll be right as soon as we, you know, do the ICO. Well, you know, they've got no technology apart from copy technology, which they've got to apply to, you know, to a gaming app. Seriously. The team has no knowledge of blockchain, no knowledge of blockchain at all. The advisors are basically, you know, an equity guy who traded on the FTSE, and the other guy is a gamer, and they don't even look at the camera, as I've said. There's no sufficiently experienced blockchain architects and developers and teams, no senior experience in both front end and back end and development on blockchain. It's just crap. Going forward, I've got a lot of stuff here, but another thing, they're basically saying, you know, you can make money out of mining, mining tokens. Now, you know, that's crap in itself. I mean, miners basically need specialized skill, specialized equipment, to basically process transactions and to keep the distributed ledger systems balanced with other computers and nodes. That's what mining is, okay, where they get paid a fee to do that. And to do mining, as I said, you need specialized computers with specialized nodes, with specialized systems to process transactions and to basically, you know, keep the distributed ledger system balanced with other computers and nodes. And it takes an enormous amount of computer grunt, I should say, and an enormous amount of electricity to do it. Smartphones don't have the CPU capacity. Regardless of the download software, whether you use Android or whether you don't, you know, basically you destroy your Android device, the battery life, the phone has got open structure. It just doesn't have enough processor to generate, you know, hash rates for mining. You know, it's not strong enough to basically generate a hash rate for mining. Even if you went to the best, you know, freaking phone, you know, Samsung Galaxy or the latest one, you know, you're going to need something like, you know, to put it in perspective, you're going to need something like 14 million phones, you know, to generate over a 24-hour period to come up with anything that's going to be worth something like, you know, $20 or something. I mean, it's just absolutely crazy that they're suggesting that you can mine something on your mobile phone. I'm just absolutely outstanding. I mean, this thing sort of reminds me of Casino Coin, but also Crypt Coin. And Casino Coin, I believe is a bit of a scam too, because they get clients spending their coins or tokens online casino. They get them hooked on games, and they just keep using these coins and cycling them and cashing them out essentially. The cost of mining, it's just ridiculous, and the costs offset the revenue. They don't talk about that. They don't talk about the revenues you're going to get. They don't talk about the cost of mining or the revenue or what you're going to get. They do talk about, yes, you're going to get coins and tokens and all this sort of stuff, but they certainly don't go through the costs of mining and what it's actually going to cost you to get there, or how many mobile phones you're going to need, seriously. A problem I've got also is, they're basically saying you can download this software, and you're basically open sourcing your mobile phone, which basically is allowing, Trojan horses or any attacker or thief, that has a lot of technology experience to basically potentially access your personal information on your mobile phone. If you happen to go into your bank, you bank on the web on your phone, or, if you happen to, put in your IP or personal identity or whatever it might be, or even if you potentially put in another wallet for Bitcoin, they can introduce things into your phone which actually can affect your phone and extract information from your phone even when you go to bed. So essentially, if the phone's on, they can, or even if it's off, they can actually extract information from that phone of yours. So, I'm really, I'm quite worried about that. The white paper is basically, as I said, smoke and mirrors. It's really, it's very hard to apply Bitcoin technology to the gaming industry or blockchain technology. It would take years for this to happen. Particularly when they've got no prototype. Again, excessive marketing. Marketing, again, is different to sales. Marketing's advertising, digital advertising, like, Facebook, SMSing, advertising wherever through, social media. Sales is another thing altogether. Sales is about actually getting clients, walking the pavements, knocking on the doors, getting the suppliers, getting the sales, talking to clients who are going to use the app. They're going to switch from one app to another. They're going to use this app. Who's going to sign up for this and why? And the reality is it's not that easy. It's not that easy. Yes, there's a lot of people that use mobiles, but a lot of people will not want to use this for potentially a gaming app and to potentially try and make a little bit of revenue out of mining, where the costs of mining offset the revenue, and that's something they haven't even talked about. From what I can see, these guys are trying to raise 40 million. Even Ethereum, when it came to the market, Ethereum had its own actual technology backing, had its own technology, and Ethereum raised half of this amount initially. To think that these guys come into the market and want 40 million, I just think that, Richard Ells, needs the money pretty much, and he's going to basically, give some to the rest of the people as well. I cannot believe that people are saying buy this when there's no product and no nothing. It's just unbelievable. Basically, it's a clone, blockchain wallet, if you want to call it that. And again, the operating system, there's no talk of how the operating system is going to be developed or integrated integrated in terms of the mobile phone. And as I said, pump and dump pretty quickly. Just irrelevant. There's no substance, no nothing. Again, with this mobile, you're giving someone access, by an application, which effectively you're basically, limiting the security on your mobile. And as I said, you could have a Trojan horse or malware, some sort of virus app that gets access to your phone and effectively can mine using your phone for someone else, and even get access to some of your wallets. So I think that is a real problem in itself, and I'd be really, really worried about it. Plus, you're giving this company way too much power. The fact that they're saying, you can mine at home and keep your computer on. Well, the reality is they're going to have access to your computer as well. So I'd be really worried about that. Really worried about that. But look, there's so many other things I could talk about, seriously. But it's just a scam, and I wouldn't put 1 cent in it. People might be there to pump and dump, whatever you want to call it. But, if you don't get out, you're going to be left holding the bathwater, seriously, in the baby, whatever you want to call it. Cheers, I hope this helps.